And welcome to the new episode 81.
81.
It is our GenCon expectations and what we think we're going to see there, and what we hope is going to be there, and whether we're going or not. For all of our people listening, we want to thank everybody for being here. John and Kathy, what are we drinking tonight?
Rum and Coke.
Okay. No tea?
Well, tea is forthcoming.
Okay.
That will be Earl Grey. Hot.
Hot. Earl Grey. John, what are we drinking tonight? John's muted still.
To reiterate, I have a Mountain Dew Livewire that I didn't drink for dinner last night, so I'll drink that.
So no alcohol tonight, huh?
I don't have any alcohol, really.
Oh, man.
That's fine.
I am drinking a Boulevard Chocolate Stout again. Finishing off the last of that pack I had. John, do we have anybody that we need to salute besides our awesome followers and Patreon subscribers and people that sponsor us?
I mean, not that I heard, but we did mention I had a slightly busy week.
I didn't hear anything either, so that's okay. Guys, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy the show. I will be doing some painting. I've got to work on a few models for people. Only one of them is mine. So I will have the airbrush on every once in a while, all muted, of course. And then, Kathy, you working on anything tonight?
No.
No?
No.
No? All right.
I'm working on this Mountain Dew.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is good beer.
That's mediocre Mountain Dew.
Mediocre Mountain Dew.
I just saw Crimson's comment about, I wonder if it'd be a good idea to base coat metallics in a very light gray, then varnish, then do metallics. That way if the edges of the paint rub off, you can just call it free edge highlighting.
Yeah.
That's a happy accent. Hey, Hail Boop, who will always be Congo to us.
Always be Congo.
Always. Guys, we want to thank you for joining us. Also, we want to thank our awesome sponsors before we get started. Tectonic Craft Studios. We will have some giveaways from him tonight to all of our one of our lucky listeners, not all of our listeners. Damn, Dan didn't give us that much stuff.
Yeah, that'd be a little crazy.
That would be a little crazy. I think tonight from Tectonic Dan, we are going to give away. Let's see. How about this? Since I'm painting, we will give away 2 of his paint holders, model holders.
Nice.
And stuff, so we can have that and give that out to everybody. He's got 2 different types. He's got one that's it's got the little thing for your fingers to hold on to. And then another one that's a little bit different. We will give that away to somebody tonight. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. Don't run away. We'll do it randomly.
Don't touch that dial.
Sometime tonight. You'll never know when.
What if I touch this dial?
Don't touch that dial.
Okay.
Okay. We want to thank Dan for giving us stuff to give away. He's such an awesome guy. If you haven't seen him, go see him. Pick up his stuff. He's a really cool dude. We also want to thank Mechanica Studios for sponsoring us, and we will be having a special giveaway from Mechanica Studios coming up, where not only our patron, our Twitch followers, and our Facebook followers will get a chance to win one of his new Star Wars Legion trays, which are super legit. We will have a contest where you'll have to do something besides be a follower, respond in some way, kind of give us something, and he will be giving away one of those. And then, of course, our buddies at Muse on Minis for sponsoring us, giving us an awesome discount code for all of our listeners, that if you would like to receive 10% off your entire order from them, you just got to use More Than Dice, all one word, and you get it 10% off of everything you buy. And it helps us out, too. So other than that, so tonight's episode, of course, we're going to be talking about GenCon. GenCon is right around the corner, 2.5 months away? 1.5 months, really?
Ah, yes.
1.5 months away.
It's the end of July. It's August 1st through 4th. So
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we'll be there while it's still July.
Yeah. And so we wanted to talk about what we think might be there, what we know is going to be there, what we wish will be there, and who it's all going. Because, we're super, super rich and just can afford all the luxury jets to go all over the place. Right, Kathy?
You guys are gonna have to tell me what you want me to go look at and report on.
So with that said, we know Kathy's going.
But
John,
did I do my homework this week?
Did
No.
you? No. John, are you able to make it to GenCon this year? Is he muted again? No, he's crashed.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Apocalypse? APOC? Like Monster Apocalypse or like 40K Apocalypse?
40K Apocalypse, the new 40K stuff. Let me see if I can get a message to John, see what's going on. Maybe he lost 40K.
Oh, Cosmic Cubicle. No joy. No joy. That's a bummer.
Let's see, John, are you alive?
Oh, you're moving that weekend. What part of the country are you moving to? We all know Congo is Kador.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there he goes.
And John is back.
It's funny I could hear you guys the whole time again. I don't know what the hell internet problem that is.
Yeah,
Where I can still hear you guys, but you can't hear me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I'm not going to Gen Con. I cannot afford that. Not really. Don't think Gen Con is the kind of con I want to go to. Too many people, not enough stuff to do. I mean, there's stuff to do, but not enough stuff.
Not enough stuffs.
Origins. I'm
People
saying
do
Origins
stuff, yeah.
Game Fair is much more spacious. When you're walking through the dealer's room, you can actually spread your arms out.
And it's drivable. It's Columbus. That's not even that far.
Yeah. Not that I'll be there, of course. I had thought that I might be there, but it turns out no. And that is next week,
Yeah.
I think.
Origin is next week. John, is your video okay? Because you're coming in with no video, but all audio.
I don't know.
Okay. No big
Looks
deal.
like it's frozen, but I can't control it if it ain't taking pictures.
No big deal.
That's fine. We can hear your dulcet tones.
That's funny, Kathy. My camera just did that thing that yours did, where it turned on
the fuzzies.
the fuzz my background.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
Yeah, it should not be doing that.
Well, if you need to get dropped and come back in, just let us know. We'll
I know
hold it.
my Skype actually logged me out, and I had to log back in today for some reason.
I may or may
It's
not
a feature, not a bug.
I may or may not be able to get to go to Gen Con. I haven't decided fully yet. I'll have to wait and see. So we'll have to check it out. Kathy, we know that you are going now. Why? Are you going for a specific reason or what? I'm going to mute myself because I have to do a quick airbrush real quick. Why are you headed out there?
We head out there only because, well, I should say mainly because Jim is doing demos in the Badger Airbrush booth, which he does every year. And I just kind of hang out and flip from booth to booth to see what's new and different, and hang out with people I don't get to see very often. It's another one of those family reunions for me. John is going to murder some Skype, which is totally valid. That's how I felt earlier. But I had been thinking of volunteering my time as a heralder at the Play Fusion booth at the Warhammer Champions card game booth, but I'm not sure whether they're going to need extra people or not. And I haven't heard from their person via email yet. So But I will be there regardless. And then
Fair enough.
if John and Gonzo give me a list of places they would like me to look at and find out more stuff about, then I can do that stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll even record.
That'd be awesome. Oh, keep here.
What's that?
I'm totally gonna blame Banyan on this. Everything been fine before his ass got home.
Yeah, blame Banyan. Way to go, Banyan.
All his fault.
What's that, Gonzo?
I said it's all Banyan's fault. We blame him.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I think the video might actually be on your end, Gonzo, because it looks like it's streaming fine from my end.
Okay. It may have come back, or it may just be a program issue. I don't know. Let's just...
Yeah.
As long as we can hear you, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Paladin Navy says, have y'all ever seen someone selling non-gaming stuff there, like pens, journals, etc., thinking of trying to get a space next year? There actually is a booth where they sell convention journals, but maybe not like what you're talking about. Like if you do handmade pens, handmade, like hand-bound journals, I think a lot of people would like something like that if you can spin it in a way that would appeal to gamers, like using it for notes for your role-playing game, or spell book for your wizard, or, stuff like that. Or, memory book, or friend book, like,
Friend book.
You know
Or
what I'm
friend
saying?
book.
Like for people you meet at conventions and stuff. That's
You like the in-person version of those online guest books?
yes.
Your website had the guest books where you sign those when you come to the website?
Absolutely. And the only thing that's on them is links to pornography.
Yeah.
Yes, those.
That's true. Absolutely true. Wish it wasn't true, but it's true. Alright. So, what is coming out theoretically at or around GenCon that we're excited for?
Cosmic Cubicle says, wait, I was half away from keyboard. What a boot prawn. Is that I hope that's a typo, because I don't know what that means.
No, oh, Kathy, that's so cute. He's speaking in internet speak. He's asking what about porn? Because you were talking about porn stuff.
Oh, but with a Canadian spin. I see.
Hi. A Canadian spin.
The Canadian spin.
I'll have to ask Tim that tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Ask him about his Canadian
So,
a boot prawn.
That's what I always say about Minnesota. We're almost Canadian, because that's where I grew up.
Almost.
But I was saying, when we used to have a website for our print art years ago, we had a guest book, and everybody had guest books back then, but we shut it down because all it was people signing in with links to porn. So yeah, that's what that was all about.
All about, yes.
All right.
Oh, anyways, back on topic.
And Hale Boot says they want to see more K-Door released around GenCon.
They won't have any K-Door around GenCon.
Oh, stop! Don't make him cry.
There is no more K-Door releases.
Not
ever.
Long?
No,
ever?
not for a while, I guess.
I mean, it's PP. It could be ever. I'm not saying. I'm just.
Now let's start with Privateer Presses, what they plan on releasing, and what we think is going to be there, because we all know that Infernals is right around the corner, but Infernals is being released at Lock and Load. Now they may have some models there for people to look at, which if you've got Jay Larson or Travis Marg on your Facebook page or Facebook friends with them, they've already received the models.
Yep.
So they could get them pre-painted for Lock and Load. So that's some of the stuff that's been going on. So I doubt you're going to see any of the Infernal stuff there for sale.
It's unlikely with their own con.
Yeah, because that's kind of why a lot of people are going to Lock and Load is to get more of that stuff. But I know you will probably, and I think they've already said it, is Riot Quest. Riot Quest is their new MOBA style game with miniatures that are allowed to be used in.
No. Say it right. It's their version of Warhammer Underworlds.
Or that too.
What's MOBA?
It's
That's why I was putting it in terms Kathy understands. Don't use those fancy terms, Kathy.
I did once Google it, but I don't remember what it was because I didn't quite understand it anyways.
Yeah. League of Legends, stuff like that. But it is their version, and yeah, you can go with it as in it's their version of Underworld, which is about the same thing too.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's not like I'm taking shots at them. They're literally just said, that worked well, let's make our own version of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
The good thing about it is those models can be used in War Machine and Hordes too. So even if you buy the models and you don't like the game, you can use the models in your own, faction, or resell them and sell them to someone else in their own faction or whatever. But that's what's coming. I know that they're probably going to be having that, and some models for it. I don't know what else they plan on showing. We got the Oblivion stuff coming out, so you might see some Oblivion stuff. Even though that rule set I don't think is not supposed to come out until September.
It's hard to tell since they got the new guy in charge. They're kind of holding it close to the vest.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Freeze again?
You got a little bit of stutter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You want me to just call you right back? Drop out of Skype and I'll call you back. What else from PP? Really, I don't think they're going to have... I'm not expecting a whole lot from them on that at GenCon besides Riot Quest. I think that's where they're going to be really pushing stuff. I don't think we're going to see a lot of new things because they're going to be holding. Well, actually, take that back. When is Lock and Load, guys? I am totally off my game on this one.
I don't even know when Lock and Load is.
Hold on.
Everyone else needs to tell us.
Yeah, everybody else needs to tell us.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. June 21st or 23rd. It'll be prior to Gen Con, won't it?
Yeah, it'll be prior. So you'll see the Infernal stuff there.
Yes.
Sorry. I for some reason I was thinking Lock and Load was after Gen Con because, well...
It used to be later in the year, but...
Yeah.
Now, 2 weeks. Thank you, Evie.
So, yeah, you would definitely see Infernals. You'll see all this stuff. I don't know if you'll see, any major pre-release stuff besides Riot Quest. Because...
Assuming they don't have it ready for Lock and Load, because they have it ready for Lock and Load, they're dropping it there.
Oh, yeah. Whatever is at Lock and Load will most likely be at Gen Con.
It's always the weird thing for a company that's got their own con, because they try and hold their stuff for their own con, even though Gen Con is a couple weeks later and a huge, huge deal. But that's just pretty much a privateer press thing more than anyone else nowadays.
Yeah, because, they're going to have their own stuff, and we're going to see, hopefully some teasers for the new faction coming out and stuff, so we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, I really don't know besides Riot Quest. I know that they said that at Lock and Load.
They're not really doing anything else.
Yeah.
That's all they do nowadays, is, some hobby stuff as far as, materials and all, P3 paints, and then War Machine and Hordes and then Riot Quest, the only thing they're working on.
Yeah.
Maybe some Monster Apocalypse stuff, but maybe. I don't know if they have anything crazy releasing right there. Might see things that are releasing in the next week or two there, but you're not going to see a big release for that.
Yeah.
Though I think that might be a good idea for them to sort of hold some releases. Like if you can't hold Riot Quest, hold some of the Monster Apocalypse and make that a big release. But
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure they have pretty much everything they have for sale at Lock and Load, they'll have it sell at GenCon, so you'll be able to get more Infernal stuff if you didn't get enough of it. Because I know that they'll probably be holding that off as a limited supply at Lock and Load. So,
and Crimson, I don't want to crush your groove there, but they're not going to have a Assault Commando unit attachment there. Sorry.
no.
No matter how much they should, they ain't gonna.
I mean, how much they've teased us and shown the area effects thing and teased us with it, I doubt it.
A whole theme list.
Yeah.
You guys are really wish listing there. I appreciate the wish listing, but
but that it'll be interesting because, like I said, they're banking a lot on Riot Quest, not only because of their board game aspect, but they're also the extra models that everybody can play with there on too. So we'll have to wait and see. I know Hungerford has been super, super excited about it because he's been working on it and everything. And, you know, Monster Pock turned out great, so not that this can't turn out great either. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's about all I see at Gen Con from PP this year. John?
Yeah, they've never been a big PP. They've never been a big release at Gen Con type of group.
No. Maybe see some early release of some models that were supposed to be released, you know, and that may be about it, but no huge surprises.
Yeah, no huge surprises, not really their thing. On much the same thing is Weird Miniatures for Malifaux 3rd Edition. That's actually releasing at the end of this month, so it'll be well out before Gen Con, but they kind of had to, as all of their events are 3rd Edition.
Oh sure, yeah. You want people to be... Yeah, that makes sense.
Ready to play, yeah. So I was kind of looking for that, but that's sort of going to take a back burner. I'm kind of to see what else they'll have released by then for Malifaux, whether they'll have one of the faction books, because that's the way they're doing it now. They're going to have a very cheap rule book, like $25 for the rule book, and then they'll have a faction book for each of the factions. Expect to hear a bunch about that coming up, because I mean that's what Not Brushhead Dave is really interested in, and I like it. So
Faction
I'm interested.
Books, kind of like Games Workshop.
Like Games Workshop, like Private Rush used to.
Sure.
Where
Okay.
they stopped printing things
Also,
entirely.
but this means you get extra fluff for your faction in this book,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
And
but it means you're not
fun
buying like
artwork.
the $50 book and getting like, well, you know, it's got all the rules and it's got my faction and some other story stuff. But if I don't care about all that stuff, it's not all good for me. So, and I'm sure there's some printing things. I'm sure smaller books are probably more efficient printing wise.
Stay together better.
Yeah,
Like,
they say
I'm thinking of D&D 5th edition books.
Oh, my God.
I gotta find my Champions, you know, most recent edition book where it's just so fucking huge that it's coming apart.
Yeah.
And they split it into 2 volumes, and it's still one of them's coming apart.
The D&D, like the player's manual and all that stuff, not even huge books. And they are rubbish. They are all falling apart. Mine is the only one out of our group of people that is intact, and it's only because I started playing after all of the rest of them.
That sounds like bad printing, because most of the rest of my books from that are that old are in good shape. My 4E books are in good shape, and they're way older and gotten way more use.
Yeah, they're
Anyways.
really crappily put together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's weird. Let's go more miniatures game. I'm hoping that FFG puts out the Legion Clone Wars starter
That is...
about that time.
People are hoping and wanting the Clone Wars and the other starter to be there. Which I think that would be pretty awesome if they release that at Gen Con, because people have been dying to get their hands on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. That's a very FFG thing to do, even though they have sort of their own mini con, so to speak. They're not big on, everyone come here, here's our cool release, you know, type of thing. They're more of a, let's just use what's already there.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that'll be there. It also will be good. It means that I could probably shoot for a late September, early October date for my Slow Grow League that I've been wanting to run for a while. But we're hoping for that. From them, and I'm sure they've got more stuff. I mean, people are hoping that maybe they'll have the Super Star Destroyer for Gen Con also.
Or for X-Wing.
No, for Legion.
Or for Legion.
Not for Legion. Legion.
Wow. Armada?
Yeah, Armada, the other one. But I mean, that's sort of a little delayed, and we're going to see more and more of that going forward on stuff. There's going to be delays on a lot of stuff just because of world events, but hopefully it doesn't really affect too much of it.
There should be. I think that also for FFG, we'll see some, of course, they always bring out some new X-Wing models for the show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Are they doing a special paint model this year?
I think they only did a special model for, the only time I've ever seen them do a special model really is for Star Wars Celebration this year.
Well, they had it also at Adepticon, so was it the same model?
Did they have it at Adepticon?
Yeah, they did it at Adepticon.
Because I think it was Star Wars Celebration only.
Well, I was told that they were going to be bringing one out because I had a friend of mine that was like, asked if I wanted one or not. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that was only Star Wars Celebration, but who knows?
Yeah, never knew.
Their article claims it was only there, so yeah, exclusively at Celebration. I mean, that's the cool way. I mean, just to tangent a little bit, that is the cool way to do, alternative models. It's a model that most people don't need because they probably had the starter set for it, but it's cool to have as a cool model. But it's not like game breaking if you don't get it because you've already got him in the rules.
Yeah.
So I like that, like alternate paints, alternate sculpts. That is the right way, not actual alternate models.
Not alternate rules, just alternate models.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That I can tell you stories of card games that did that and then died a fiery, burning death because their shit was broken. And it became, you got to get our special promo to have a chance in the game. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
So, what else is? I mean, GW's probably released a lot of stuff, but Lord knows they keep their release schedule so tight to the chest.
Yeah, we have no.
You'll only know a week beforehand, and it's probably not going to be anything exclusive there. Though they may have the that one Primaris Lieutenant, which if so, I'll be asking Kathy to pick up for me because I really want that dude.
Right.
But I don't know what else they might have there, so we'll see.
Yeah, GW is really weird about their stuff that they release because it's always something different, and you're like, oh, they're gonna, okay, yeah, cool. So we'll have to wait and see on GW. I know that Conquest, I believe they're having a booth this year, Parabellum War Games, and of course the new game. The game will be out at GenCon, and I'm sure they're gonna be showing off the Nord stuff because I just got done doing Games UK. Is that the one that just happened? I can't remember which one just happened.
UK Games Expo.
Yeah, UK Games Expo, and they showed off the Nords, which had giants and, of course, barbarians and elementals and some other stuff, and they showed off some more dwarven stuff, so I'm sure they'll have a really nice booth to put a bunch of different things out there.
Their booth is Parabellum War Games, so booth number 2865, so it'll be towards the back.
Actually, Crimson, we did not hear about the horror story at UK Games Expo. Did anybody hear about that?
I did.
What was it, John?
Not worth repeating on the podcast.
Oh, is it that bad?
Let us just say some bad shit happened, and the organizers took care of it really damn quick. And hats off to them for that. But it was not a good scene. It was basically someone ran a role-playing game with very, very unfortunate content in it.
I heard about that. I didn't know that was that was there.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
we were not going to talk about that on the podcast. Not worth talking about it. Not worth dealing.
Yeah, you can Google search it. There's a whole big thread on Twitter from the young lady who was there and part of that. But they jumped on that quick. Hats off. They did. They did a great job taking care of it quickly. Hats off them for doing it the right way.
I'll have to Google that because I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really don't see any. I mean, Conquest, the guys, I'm sure they'll have it where you can do demos. They'll probably give away some sprues like they always do. They're really cool guys. Go check them out. Kathy, go check them out. Introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm in the other part that you didn't get to see on the podcast.
Oh, well, But yeah, when I talked to them the first year they were at Adepticon,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was doing the podcast yet that year.
Yeah, you were. Last year you were.
Last year, but the year before that.
No, not the year before that. I don't think so either. But that. What other miniature ones that we need to talk about?
I'm trying to see if Corvus Belli has anything coming for.
They usually have something they bring out, a special Merc model, something for everybody to see.
Yeah, they must have something.
I
it will be there, obviously.
Tell you what it is, but they decided to do that in a video with Bostria rather than the text page I can read right now. So they are doing something. They are doing. They said they're going to have some new releases, some special discounts, some other surprises, and Infinity Defiance, their new Dungeon Car board game that they're going to do via Kickstarter next fall. They're going to have some previews of that.
Okay.
So looks like probably nothing super specific. Their new book released a little bit ago. Honestly, I'm not really in on Infinity right now. It's just none of my crew's playing it. The guys that play it locally are way too serious about it. They're not just having a good time. I mean, they're having a good time, but they're not just having a good time. So I'm like, it's on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
So they got a new Nomad model. It looks like a fucking Cyclone that I'm like, oh my god, must buy. Because it's a guy riding a motorcycle, and then the motorcycle turns into a drone, and then the guy gets off and fights too. So actually, it's just a little more Bubblegum Crisis than Robotech. But here I am with my 1980s cyberpunk and sci-fi references.
Oh,
I hope you all get them.
Bubblegum Crisis, yes.
Not that remake shit.
Now, I wanted to go back because we got on it and then something happened. Was Malifaux 3rd Edition coming out? It's going to be releasing before GenCon, correct?
Correct. End of this month.
Okay. And are they releasing new starters or just new rules?
New starters.
New starters for everything, too.
Well,
interesting.
The old models are all still good. I don't know if they've resculpted all the models. I haven't seen them all. I would honestly say that my finger is not quite to the pulse of that as it used to be because I just haven't had a chance. But let's see what I can find. Definitely new starters. I've seen those. Some new characters and a whole bunch of new things. Some old characters are dead and will be usable in, friendly play or a tournament where they say you can use them. Weird. It's sort of like old L5R card game. If someone's dead, there are certain formats you can't use them in.
Interesting.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing all that stuff. Has been cool stuff so far, though.
Are we expecting any going back to FFG for a second? Legion stuff. You think they'll have any pre-release stuff there besides the for the current armies, not the new armies? Do you think they're going to probably concentrate just on the new armies?
I would say there unlikely to be anything for the current armies at the same time. I don't think you could do both at once. You're probably going to see those sort of things slow down a bit.
Okay.
As far as overall releases for Imperials and Rebels, it won't be the same sort of dealio, but at least until they get the new factions up to speed.
Yeah, because they want them to have as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much there for them at all.
Going back, another game that some of us play, Guild Ball. I don't know if are they even gonna have a booth this year? I would think
Steamforge is gonna be there.
That's what I thought. I figured if there's anything that they're not gonna miss, it's gonna be.
They're still way in the back, in the ass end of the dealer's hall or the exhibitor's hall, which is where all the cool stuff is. So if you're stepping into the GenCon exhibitor's hall, just walk really fast towards the back of the room, towards the 300s, and that's where you'll see all the interesting stuff.
Yeah, interested to see what they do too. I mean, they've been putting a lot of stuff out, but It's
They had that new Resident Evil board game that they had at Adepticon, and I'm hoping to actually go and play a demo game of it because it's like a dungeon crawl thing. That's the thing I was painting those disgusting monster models for.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love their models for like board games and stuff are great. I, just to be slightly critical, dislike their newest batch of models for Guild Ball. I don't really like.
I haven't seen the new models for Guild Ball.
They're fine models, but they're like one piece pre-molded to a base.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at that point just make it a board game. You and Blood Bowl need to switch. Blood Bowl start using a measuring tape. You start using squares. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you're gonna make board game pieces as your models, make a fucking board game.
Also, the thing, another game was Song of Ice and Fire, Simon. Or as Kathy says, come on.
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 Come on and join the fun. Right? Yeah.
Because they released...
Because the camera hasn't refreshed.
Yeah, because they just had their personal expo just recently where they said they're going to bring out the Baratheon models, which look amazing, by the way. Stag Knights, knights with deer antlers and big old weapons, and yeah, the models looked really cool. And they refuse to say if anything's going to be at GenCon, which I don't blame them because they probably don't know themselves because of the travel issues with miniatures and getting the tariffs and all that crap going on. So
also, the fact that, I mean, they may not want to say because they're holding things tight to the vest because they're not in great shape.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, unfortunately. So, every company goes through, like, I was, to be honest, I'm really surprised PP is still doing lock and load because they're not in great shape either, but hey, if it's working, it's working,
Yeah, there's going to be, I know that their Song of Ice and Fire is doing good for them. Their problem is that they're having with it is distribution and getting the models to people.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard problem for a while because they are plastic and they're coming from China.
Yeah.
Unless someone can make a cheap manufacturing plant in the U.S. You can't pay someone enough to do that here, unfortunately.
Yeah. No. Can't pay that rate.
No. That's a whole other bag of tricks. Let's go. I think that's most of the miniatures. Like, I don't expect to see much from... do we know if Dust is doing anything?
They are. We don't know what they're bringing out, though. I know last year they were showing the Japanese models off, and they may be doing more of the Japanese stuff because I know a lot of people are looking forward to the giant mech. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, the giant mech. The giant mech was awesome!
Yeah, and people are dying for that, and so we may see something about that, but they are also suffering the issues of shipping, too, so...
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, all of them are like that because most of the plastics, if your name isn't Games Workshop, they're coming from China.
Yeah. So, I know people are worried about that. I don't know. I'll have to get an idea. Maybe Greg and Alicia can give me a little insider info, maybe, and we'll see what happens. But I know that they'll be there and are always doing cool stuff, and they're always fun to hang out with. So if you know those guys, if you see them, go hang out with them for a little bit. Go get a demo of a game in.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other miniature... So, it's the weird thing I'm sort of finding is I don't think miniature game companies are as big as some other companies as on Gen Con releases. It seems like they'll just put them out where they put them out. Now, you go into board games and role-playing games, there's some stuff coming out.
They save it for conventions that are much more miniature game-centric, like Adepticon.
Because Gen Con's like the hodgepodge of games.
Yeah. And it's not, and it is more board games and RPGs. I mean, that's just the simple truth of it.
Warlord Games, I don't know if you're going to see much from them, besides, because, I mean, they'll probably bring out new faction models from their World War games, but I don't
know if they are going to be there in their own booth, or if they're going to be sharing a booth with someone else, because I don't see them on the list right now. I see War Cradle, though, Wild West Exodus.
Yeah, I don't know if
Are they doing anything?
Yeah, they're going to be there. I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
they're going to be doing, but I am not in touch with Wild West Exodus, so.
What is that?
maybe you can be in touch with them. Maybe go check them out. See if they've changed the rules and made it a little bit better, Kathy, than their previous example and previous time you were.
I don't know, but I have friends who seem to really like the way it is now, so.
Maybe they upped their game a bit.
Yeah.
I know that they had a really big hit at Adepticon because I had a lot of my friends were like, dude, this game's really, really good now. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
A bunch of other game companies probably putting stuff out, but we haven't really heard of anything big releases there. We can go. They're not doing anything for Age of Sigmar Champions there, are they? So switch to card games real quick.
Oh, my dog.
Yeah, he's gone, isn't he?
Kathy, is the Age of Sigmar Champions going to be doing anything?
Yes, they are.
What are
What
they
they
going to do?
They're going to be. I mean, they have a booth there. They're going to be running demos, but they also have some tournament events
Any
that they're going
new
to be
stuff?
doing. So, any new stuff? I think Set 4 comes out somewhere around GenCon, but I don't think it comes out at GenCon.
Yeah, so that's sort of the point that Transformers TCG is at. Is that their set's actually coming out the same exact day that Malifaux 3rd Edition's coming out, so that me and Brushhead Dave don't have any money ever.
Crimson, keep dreaming, buddy.
Oh, what was he dreaming about? Oh, jeez.
He's still got the Assault Commando UA.
That's cool.
I would love for the Assault Commando UA to come out. Oop.
I'm trying to find some. I don't know. I think WotC has a history of not going to. That's Wizards of the Coast for those of you at home. Have a history of not going to Gen Con and having an official presence. I don't know if they are this year.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look. One of the Z's right now. WI.
Just trying to see.
Do not see Wizards of the Coast, but.
Yep. So they probably don't. I mean, there'll be some events there, but there's gonna be nothing crazy. Hopefully, there's some events where they've got the cool promo cards, which are basically just other cards. Just they have a gold foil instead of the standard foily, which is cool.
Yeah.
But at that point, the big hotness will be the was it Siege of Cybertron? What's that called?
Is that Siege? I have no clue.
What? Damn it, Gonzo! Don't you play this game?
Not as much as you do.
I mean, no. Actually, right now you played exactly as much as I do.
Oh.
That's sort of the problem.
We've been too busy to play.
Yes. Wave 3, Siege: The War for Cybertron. 1. It's 1. There's a Roman numeral 1 behind that.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. They've got a lot of releases, but they'll probably do some stuff. But like I said, that's hitting weeks beforehand, so I don't think it's going to be anything big as far as releases there for it. But again, it seems like board gamers and role-playing games are the more bigger releases at a Gen Con.
Which is the reason why I think Steamforge is going to be pushing the
Cause
Resident Evil game.
Yeah, the models are good for for board game pieces.
Mhm.
They actually were surprisingly detailed.
Are they good, or are that Batman board game good? Because that Batman board game had some fucking awesome models. That one?
Yeah, I got to play that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, this has got some really good models, or at least they seem good models online. I mean,
Yeah,
you never know.
it's Steamforge making these, so they're probably right on a par with their
Guild Ball
the
stuff.
Guild Ball ones that no assembly required.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, let's jump in and see if there's anyone got any board games they're looking for at Gen Con. Any hear of any board games coming out that they're interested in?
I mean, I haven't heard of anything big coming out though. That's what's weird.
I feel like I need to. Honestly, I feel like I need to wait until July and then really get into, like I did last year, where I did the rundown of all the booths that I really want to go to and why.
Well, this year doesn't seem like there's a lot of stuff that are coming out. Like John and I were saying, it's like
it may be early days because I'm looking at in years past. People didn't even announce the stuff that they were going to be doing at GenCon until a few weeks before.
Yeah, well, because they got to make sure they have it first.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that's the reason why we're not seeing a lot of stuff, or people aren't talking about a lot of it, because with the tariff situation in China and all that good stuff, a lot of people are not sure of what they're going to have.
Well, plus, Kickstarter has changed the whole format nowadays, because they got to make their Kickstarter. You cannot make a Kickstarter and have your stuff released at Gen Con before Kickstarter people get it. You will die.
I mean, you can, because...
I mean,
certainly, Come On has done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, well...
Or at least one glaringly...
We've had a discussion how Come On is not necessarily the company you want to be modeling your
we're not
proper activities after.
Yeah. Correct.
Or Palladium did that one time.
Yeah, well, that whole game was a shit show.
Yeah.
Shit show. Hey, you know what's not going to be at Gen Con?
What?
Relic Knights.
What? Why not?
In fact, that company better not be at Gen Con. They can't afford to.
Yeah.
They're still trying, though. Still trying. Bless their hearts.
Is Palladium going to be there?
Palladium is going to be there. They have the 30th anniversary... We talked about the 30th anniversary Palladium Fantasy Role-Playing Game hardcover book and the 30th anniversary Heroes Unlimited hardcover book, of which one I'm interested in, the other one is Palladium Fantasy Battles, which is never as good as D&D. Ever.
You know, the one thing that I really wish... one reason I like to go to Gen Con, it's not for all the major releases, it's all the minor releases of stuff that come out. Like, all the small companies that bring out their models and have, new things.
I was about to go into that stuff because we're hitting role-playing games, Gonzo, and that changes it because there's a lot of stuff that's expected to be at Gen Con.
Yeah. Let's go with the role-playing games.
An updated Rifts without horrible complex rules would be great. Yeah, but you'd have to sell the license to someone competent.
Didn't they do a Fate system or a...
No, Savage Worlds.
Savage Worlds for that?
Which is fine, but it's still not... I mean, Savage Worlds is a...
great system, but yeah.
It's a great system, but it's a very bare bones... It is like the opposite of Rifts.
Yeah, Rifts is super.
They're the two spectrums. On one side, why am I using my hands? You guys can't see me still. On one side, you've got Rifts. On the other side, you've got Savage Worlds as far as complexities. Yeah. But in any case. So, role-playing games that we're expecting or hoping to be there would be Shadowrun 6th Edition.
What?
Yeah, Catalyst Game Labs has got Shadowrun 6th Edition coming out, which is of interest to me because I love Shadowrun. I mean,
yes.
I don't actually get to play games anymore, role-playing games, so I'm not sure how interested, but always interested. I was not a huge fan of 5th. I'll be honest, I haven't been a huge fan since...
I haven't played Shadowrun since, 1995, maybe.
So, 2nd edition, maybe 1st edition. Probably 2nd.
Are they planning on changing up the rule set, or is it going to be the same 8 billion D6s?
I have not heard. I mean, it's always going to be 8 billion D6s. That's Shadowrun.
Ooh, Banyan says Rifts. I would love to see Rifts again. I haven't played that probably since 92.
Oh, I've played that more recently than that. It's still not good. Sorry. Love the world, hate the system.
I don't even remember anything about the mechanics of it, but the world was fun.
That happens with trauma. So yeah, Shadowrun 6th Edition, I'm hoping it's a bigger overhaul of rules. I haven't hated any of the editions. I haven't hated 4th, didn't hate 5th.
Banyan's
really
running
like
Shadowrun. Can I play? If Banyan runs Shadowrun, I want to
Oh, Banyan, now you're running the game on Skype. Good luck. Flip that whole thing around on him, Gonzo. Good work. Fist bump.
Yeah, I'll let him run. If somebody didn't know, not to go off a little bit of topic, but one of the new Patron Awards we got coming out is I will run a game for someone twice a month. You get to choose the genre. I will bring up different systems for you, and we will go from there. But that's going to be a new Patron Award, is me running an RPG for you and 3 of your friends coming up. But that'll be something later to talk about. But because that came up in our conversation, John had messaged me and said something.
Because Peyton was joking with me, but so yeah, hoping for Shadow 6 Edition, hoping it's good. Kathy brought this up, I think, in the pre-ramble. Age of Sigmar role-playing game.
Yep.
It's getting close. Might be available.
Yes, and they're going to be at GenCon, so I want to stop by Cubicle 7 and see if they have anything there that I can look through. And I love that Crimson just referenced the Dallas RPG from previous episodes.
Remember, there was an RPG for everything. I remember back in the day when you could go through their warehouse, Alliance, then called the Armory, would let you go through the warehouse and look through stuff, and you could buy whatever you wanted. There were all sorts of role-playing games. They had all this stuff from little guys. It was great. When I started working there, but when they were Alliance, I did that my first couple paychecks. I did not get a lot of money because I went through and got a lot of stuff at discount.
Hey, Hacky84, thank you for the follow.
Woo woo.
But yeah, so Age of Sigmar role-playing game. Not sure I'd play it, but I am very interested to see it.
I am too. I'm interested to see it, to see what the rule set is going to be like.
Yeah.
How it's going to work, so on and so forth. Another one that it goes back to our mini one that I totally forgot to talk about and ask is that Gaslands is coming out with a new edition sometime in September, and it would be interesting if they brought out like an early edition or they did demos of the new rules.
That's Osprey, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they might. That doesn't really seem their way, though.
No, but I mean, it would be kind of neat to see that there.
I don't know if they do a demo because really demo would be difficult because it's a miniatures game without miniature line. It becomes very sketchy legality-wise because you're sort of giving the sort of tacit approval to certain things, even though that's not. You're not trying. Oh, you can use these guys. You're not trying to do that. You actually want to throttle back on that. So, I mean, cool to see, but I don't know if we would see it.
Yeah, but that would be something interesting to. Because I actually want to run a Gaslands League at my store. At the store I frequent, because I think that would be a fun little league to play.
I want Gasland, but I want it more model car size, not Hot Wheels size.
Not Hot Wheel size.
I mean, Hot Wheels size is cool.
I think that's...
Don't want to go to the local, like, Hobby Lobby or whatever the hell, and buy a cool model kit and find a cool tank, and you're like, I'm putting these guns on this car, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Maybe it's not just me.
That's not just you.
So, also, we're hoping the Expanse role-playing game might be out at GenCon.
Good chance.
Like, are you just hoping that there would be one, or have you heard that
someone's
making one?
There is one. It is in the works. It is close enough that they are sort of...
Who's making it?
Expecting. Trying to remember. I did not write names of companies. Were you crazy?
Oh, okay.
That's RPG. Green Ronin.
Oh.
Okay.
So.
Then I'll have to go by there too to see about that.
Yeah, so they got the quick start available. It might actually be available now.
Possibly.
Let me see. It's actually saying it's available, so it's already out, I guess. Oh, it's pre-order.
Pre-order only.
Let's see if it says...
what the date is of its release?
I don't see anything here real quick, because they were mentioning that. Maybe they'll have some physical copies there. It'd be cool.
It would be.
I do like the Expanse. A role-playing game based on the Expanse could be awesome.
Would be, yes.
It's... I mean, I know I get my cousin John to play. I'd be like, hey, John, what are you doing on Sundays? Because, I mean, you can go swing swords, or we can play the Expanse RPG.
Right.
Then also, since Palladium Books, speaking of them again, did not renew, let's say nicely, the Robotech license.
What?
Yeah, I know, after all these years. So, actually, funny story with that, they actually almost lost it the last time. But they get that 11th hour renewal, and they put some new books out. But this time they actually lost it. They did not. They weren't doing enough with it to keep up, and it was probably a really good call to not pay for it. Especially because apparently things are heating up because it's getting close to the end of certain certain licenses that even Harmony Gold has. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be a little push for that stuff. But Strange Machine Games, who I've never heard of before, is doing a Robotech the Macross Saga role-playing game.
Ooh.
In addition to a couple Robotech board games. I forget it was one of them, like, I think it was them, one of them, if you show you have a receipt from the Robotech RPG Tactics Kickstarter, they, like, give you something for free. Not like a whole game, but, like, just a bonus thing.
Wow.
Which I thought was really cool. You know? Because, I mean, not many companies would do that, you know, for someone else, but I'm sure it's sort of like Harmony Gold, like, hey, do this. It'd be cool. Make our people happy again.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, for years and years, the role players and all that, we were the guys who kept that going. But interested to see how that is. I might be a summer or early fall of me buying role-playing games I'm never going to get to play, but I'm going to read a lot of. And then the big dog in the room, we have 3 minutes to talk about. Pathfinder 2nd Edition might actually be out for GenCon.
Yep.
And that is interesting because by the time I thought about getting into Pathfinder, it was so far into it, it just was never going to be worth it. You know, when you get into a game and it's already, 40 supplements in, you're like, yeah, nah. I'll keep playing my D&D. As we said earlier, I like 4th edition D&D. You can fight me on it. I'll die on that hill. There's a lot of game space that didn't go in, but Pathfinder, I mean, everyone loved 3.5 because it was fun. Wasn't necessarily good, but it was fun. And they sort of took that, whatever wanted, and rolled with it. So I'm interested to see. They're saying August 1st, but I wonder if they're actually going to have it just show up at GenCon. It'll probably be the first chance you really get it, because GenCon's not far after that.
I mean, GenCon is August 1st.
Is it August 1st?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there you go then. The website probably means that it'll be at GenCon then. I thought it was after that.
Nope. Nope.
Nope, August 1st, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking. I don't trust you guys, but trust but verify. That's one of Gibbs' rules. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because, I mean, I don't... Anyway, I say this has come out horribly, so I'm just going to go straight into it. People like D&D 5th Edition, that's cool. I don't respect WotC for making D&D 5th Edition. They just, rather than innovating, they just said, oh, no, everyone's upset about this stuff, let's go back to this old stuff you like, here, go, have fun. Which is fine, but, I lost a little bit of my respect with that. And I'm sure they care. I mean, they're weeping themselves to sleep on their piles of money, I'm certain of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they
But,
are.
I say hell I'll die upon because I like 4th edition, and I like innovation in games. I think that's sort of a problem with role-playing games that we could probably do a whole topic off, so I won't rant about it now, about how we have too many role-playing games that aren't innovating. They're actually just keeping their sacred cows, and rather than building on each other, just stealing bits and not doing too much with it, with rare exceptions. We're actually starting to get some work now, but for a while there was just the same shit rebranded. So... But in any case, hope to see that there, and I think we did a pretty thorough coverage of what we were hoping to see there. Obviously, we'll have some updates as things they get closer.
I will do my my list of all the booths that I want to see and what I'm hoping to see there closer to the date, probably the week before I go.
Yeah,
and then you guys give me your list of where you want me to go and why and what you want me to see there.
Fair enough. I have other peeps there, at least one. Yeah, we're at media section.
We're at media section. All right, I'm gonna switch it over to media section. Let's see if we get... Nope, John's camera's still not good.
I mean, that's not a me problem.
Yeah, it's just something that just...
You could probably kill that camera and redo it, but I don't know if you want to fuck with it right now.
Nah, let's not fuck with that.
Okay. I'm going to take my shirt off then.
It's a good angle for you, John, though. You know. Wait, that means I have to see that.
No, fair. Let's say I could be totally naked. No one would know.
Until the feed comes back on, then we get
take
kicked
your
off
shirt
Twitch.
off to feel more comfortable, I'm fine with that.
You still only see me from about mid...
Yeah,
upper chest up.
You know what? Go nuts if it's hot there. You know, I understand.
All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 technically.
Oh, 5 because Banyan showed up.
Yeah, because Banyan showed up. So 5 because Banyan showed up. Kathy, how many you got?
I have 3, at least 3.
All right, John.
I believe I have 4.
I win. I go first.
You win.
Let's go ahead and go with Legacies. Of course, like I said, I watched it. I watched up to episode 4, and was going to finish the rest of the season and give a final review of it. We coined a new term while watching this of when the show goes full CW. For anybody that knows what a full CW show is, it's when pretty much it goes away from being about the show and the character to some ridiculous idea or completely off the narrative and concentrates way on other things that have nothing to do with everything.
Soap operetta, teen angst, romance.
Yes.
See, like late season 1, early season 2 of Green Arrow.
Yeah.
By the time most will quit.
Now, I'll go with this. Banyan was the world is decent. It is a spinoff of Vampire Diaries and blah blah blah. We already talked about that. The school tries to do some school stuff. I mean, you expect teen angst stuff anyway because it is a high school drama, but it goes way off the deep end. With episode 6, I think is what it said it was.
Yeah, you said episode 6
when it went full CW, and it was the prom episode or the dance episode, and I just started watching it and going, oh shit, I have 10 more episodes to go through to finish this out.
Oh Jesus,
fucking A. Banyan, I love you, dude, but kiss my ass.
Apparently that's the rating, is kiss my ass.
Wow.
Okay, this show has good potential. It really does. It works off of the supernatural type thing where things are happening. So you get that vibe from it. The teenagers have to deal with this supernatural stuff coming and attacking the school or attacking people. Cool, I get that. It was good. Then it just goes full CW with angst and all this other thing. And like there's characters in there you're supposed to feel, remorse for because of either the bad upbringing or, they're bitchy because they've been treated bad. No, there's a girl that's bitchy just to be bitchy. And she's like, people expect me to be bitchy all the time. And I look at it and says, because you are bitchy all the time. All this, and it's one of the main characters. Her character is nothing but a bitch, and you can't feel any sympathy for her at all. She acts horrible. The acting is getting really bad, too, with the CW aspect of it. You try to feel sorry for some of the characters because they know, they went through some shitty stuff and they're having a hard time being, whatever supernatural being they are. But it's just bad. Especially, and what's sad is it's mostly the 2 sisters that the main story is about. Their acting is really bad and their story just sucks. The other characters, I can't remember, is it MG, I think is what it is? This werewolf, or vampire, excuse me, not werewolf, vampire. I like him. I like his character. He's kind of quirky and funny. He's kind of got some things going it. Yeah, the twins, man. You kind of feel sorry for him, for what's going on in his life. He's about the only character that is kind of relatable in any way, form, or fashion. On everything. But I mean, they're just like, And then you got this hunter unit that comes in and tries to stop the school of doing things. And you're like, okay, hunters, it's an obvious one. And they stop people from using their magic and people from using their powers. Cool. No problem. I get that. And then they were like, well, you know what? We're going to take these hunters down and fight. And we're going to, all the supernatural kids that don't have any powers now are going to take all these, hunters down by playing football. They run football plays to distract and fight these fully armed, semi-automatic, body armor wearing commandos. And they beat them by playing football.
Hey, it's good enough for Flash Gordon.
But see, Flash Gordon was good.
What's your final rating of this train wreck?
I really, really wish it was good. Because it does have some great story elements, and it does have some cool things going on with it. And you're like, yeah, this is really neat. And then you're just like, it's ruined by the twins, the two girls. It's ruined by bad acting, and it goes full CW a lot. And you're just like, you don't have to put that in there. It has nothing to do with the story. It doesn't matter. I'm pushing like 4 to 4.5. And
oh, wow.
Only to the extent of the entire season. Up to like episode 6, it was decent. It was like a starting Supernatural. And Supernatural's a great series. But then past that, it just starts going downhill fast. And that's like from episode 6 to episode, 16? It just starts going downhill. And I just started to tune out after. I was like, really? I mean, there's one episode where these psychotic slugs jump into everybody's brain and make them act like they want to act and speak their mind. And I'm like, so the characters learn about each other and grow. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Really?
I mean, it's a common trope, but fair enough.
Oh, it was just bad. So, Banyan, I love you, dude, but no. It's off my queue.
You're not going to watch the second season?
No. I'll let Banyan watch the second season, and then he can tell me, and I can go, thanks for letting me know. Bye. I see Paladin Navy is talking about Starship Troopers. I don't care what anybody says about Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers was bad, but now is a classic. Because it's bad in a good way.
It's actually good because it actually does what the director aimed to do, but that's not what we watched this week, so.
Correct. Well, he just made a comment about it.
Yeah, I saw.
So 4 to 4.5 space RPs. Pass it on by.
Very well. I'm gonna do a quick wrap up of the Expanse season 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 words: fuck and yes. 0 space herpes. It is awesome. I won't spoil anything, but I love when you have a series where in the climactic fights there are people on either side of a fight, and none of them are really wrong. Some are just more right. It's not like good versus evil. It's like, we're on this side, you're on that side. We don't necessarily agree, and it's come to violence. But even at the end, it's not like everyone died and everyone's in prison because they didn't agree with them. It is what it is. I like that. There's more depth to it than a lot of series. So check it out. Looking forward to season 4. And like I said, 0 space herpes.
That's kind of what we liked about the first season, which is all we've watched is the first season and then the first 1 or 2 episodes of the second season so far. So we will be revisiting that one soon because we just finished binging Good Omens.
Well, hit us with Good Omens then.
And oh my god! Well, so I've read the book a few times, and I really liked the book. So I was actually halfway through the book when they announced that they were going to be doing an Amazon show. So I was pretty excited about that. And it didn't disappoint at all. It could have... No, it actually couldn't have. I was going to say it could have gone more in depth in the background of Aziraphale and Crawley.
Mm-hmm.
but it really can't in a TV show. Not like you can in a book. And then more detail about the history of the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter. But again, you really can't do that in a TV show. It's just not practical, and I understand that. But aside from that, it was so very much like the book, and the pacing of it and everything, and the silly parts, and the kind of nonsense banter and everything. I just really liked it, and Jim liked it too. He actually missed the first couple episodes, so we have to go and watch the whole thing again. Darn. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
And everybody I know who's seen it has had good things to say about it. So I give it maybe 1 space herpy, because there are parts of it where if you haven't read the book twice, it kind of could leave you confused. Like maybe they kind of gloss over something so quick you're like, what? Wait, what? And then you have to go back and watch it again. But
Fair enough.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So who's next?
Isle of Dogs. I watched Isle of Dogs. It was on HBO for free, of course, and it was done by the people that did Fantastic Mr. Fox, in the same style. If anybody's ever watched it, it's like the stop motion or whatever, puppeteering. The movie was weird. The story was weird. The story is that all dogs caught this disease, and all dogs in this country are sent to the trash island to live and die. And doing that, they sent all the dogs there because of their disease, and this one kid wants to go find his dog. The story kind of jumbles in on itself, and it really just goes all over the place. With trying to save the dogs, trying to get things guys done. And I kind of tuned out on the story because I was too infatuated with the stop motion. It's stop motion movement and stuff, and it was really cool. It's very old school, but it's got a style that a lot of people won't like. And a lot of people won't care for. And the way the storytelling is done, people won't care for it either. But it was very neat from a technical aspect. I thought it was very interesting the way it was done. I thought it was, the story was a little off kilter and kind of weird. And, the talking dogs were kind of interesting. A lot of big name voices on it. But I was more infatuated and really liked the stop motion work of it, because I think it's kind of a dying, art, if you wanted to say, that's happening now. There's not many people that do it. And it was just very interesting to see it being done again. I kind of don't recommend it for people to watch because the story is kind of meh. But if you like cool little stuff like that, take a look, put it on, just kind of glance at it every so often and watch it. See some of the cool effects and cool things they do. If you liked Fox, the Fantastic Fox or whatever, I can't remember the name of that was.
Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox. You'll like this. And so I really don't want to give it a rating. Story-wise, probably a 3.5, space harpies. But for technicality and stuff, it was really cool, like 1. But because they don't do anything anymore like that. And it was interesting to watch. So it was hard to give it a rating. So.
Well, fair enough. Well, I don't think we're going to finish everything we got today, so I'm going to skip to the end. Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
And?
Was very good. It is a good Godzilla movie. There are people who say not enough human story in it, which I would disagree with. I would actually say one of its flaws is at the end, the human story is a little much into it. They do sort of bring it into the fight, but without spoilers, it was like you focus a little too much on that. But it was still very good. I enjoyed the crap out of it, even having not seen the previous Godzilla movie or Kong Skull Island, which I referenced. But it's cool. Giant monsters beat the crap out of each other. I would say a very, very solid story for a Godzilla movie. I like the nods to other Godzilla stuff, like, how they're. I mean, they call King Ghidorah both him and Monster Zero, which is cool. They fit those little parts in very well. So yeah, very much enjoyed it. They're making a cinematic universe out of it, so it'll be cool. Next one I think is Kong versus Godzilla, and they're setting it up. They set it up all in the end credits. It's one of those movies that just sort of starts cold open, and then the credits would normally be at the beginning of a movie back in the day, or at the end, before the actual rolling credits. The animated credits, they have cool little news article clips and all that, sort of giving you an idea what's going on in the world to set up for the next one. And a very cool rendition of cover of Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, nice.
Done by some voice actor I don't know, and Bear McCreary does the soundtrack in general and does that. So, and you'll remember him from Battlestar Galactica, and I really dig his work. But yeah, very good. I give it 1 Space Herpy. Said you could do a little less human. It could have been a little tighter, but they fit a lot in the one movie. And it's definitely one, if you don't like it the first time, I have a feeling you may not be a Godzilla fan. But if you're like kind of on the edge, I'm pretty sure a second viewing is going to bring it all together. Because the first one was just like, it's all over the place. They're doing a lot of stuff together, and then it all comes together. So definitely recommend it. Check it out. Kathy, go ahead. This one.
I saw the first episode of What We Do in the Shadows. Finally.
The new TV series.
Yeah.
I watched the first of that.
It was so funny. So, I didn't realize it was going to be like kind of like a Big Brother or like the Real World sort of thing.
You never saw the movie?
Only with vampires. No, I didn't see the movie.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you were like, what the hell?
Yeah. But one of the guys in my D&D group watches it, so he's like, "Yeah, you got to see this," and so I did, and I will watch more of it. I want to see what happens with Nandor and company. But yeah, ridiculous fun.
Yeah. Before we get any further, we're gonna go and give away the 2 miniature holders from Tectonic Craft Studios. The randomizer has given it to... Everybody ready? Drum roll.
Drum roll. Pretend I'm doing a drum roll.
John, do a drum roll even though we can't see it.
Stop wasting my time, goddammit.
Okay, you can stop now.
That's annoying.
Waiting for him to fucking say something.
It goes to Paladin Navy.
Hey, Paladin Navy. Congratulations.
You will get these 2 miniature holders from Tectonic Craft Studios. If you can get a hold of either me or somebody to send us your address, we will have these shipped out to you as best as we can and as quick as we can.
Or some random person. Give them your address.
Yeah, just give some random person, and hopefully they get a hold of us and give it to you.
Chad, I don't think those are big enough for the models you've been working on.
I did kind of test them out a little bit. The one that has been taken apart. And I don't know. You'll have to just figure it out. So, Chad, just go get John your address, give it, get it going, and we will see what we can do for you guys. We will be giving away a few more things from Tectonic Craft Studios. We have a bunch of walls that templates that he has made, and we do have a full house and some barriers. Yeah, trackers. So we have some stuff, some other stuff to give away pretty soon. And like I said, we also have trees. if you have trees to give away. We're going to try to give away one of his, something of his once a month. Oh, hey, Big Slug. Didn't even see anybody coming in.
It's Great Big Slug and Via Schmidtbot.
And Via Schmidtbot? Dude.
My contrast paint, yes. We all want contrast paints, but...
but I also have, like, this big house to give away. So we'll see, because he's got this big old house to give away.
Cool.
And stuff, so... And that'll be shipped non-put together. Because I'm not shipping that put together.
Unassembled would be the word for that.
No. Unput together.
What's your next movie?
Okay, so let's go. I have 2 movies to go, and we got about 9 minutes to finish this up.
So I'll get one, and then maybe I'll get one, or maybe I'll rant about something else real quick.
Okay, well...
You get one.
I watched Halloween 2018.
Oh my
Nigel,
God.
has said it was pretty good.
I know exactly why you watched it.
He told me that it was really good. Popped up on Facebook, said it was really cool. And it was free on HBO, so of course I'll watch it. I ain't got a problem with it. And I actually liked it. I'm not a huge horror fan anyway, or a slasher fan or anything, but of course Halloween's a classic. And now that, the 2018 came out, it really, really, really played into like the original Halloween movie. There wasn't this weird, stuff. You actually kind of didn't know what time it was supposed to be. It is technically 40 years after the original movie. But it felt like it was more in the 70s. Because, you saw people using... It was weird because the clothes weren't really the clothes of the time when it's supposed to be 40 years after. Cell phones, they had some weird cell phone stuff. Just certain technologically, there was like this weird mesh between the two timelines for technology, stuff like that. It was interesting. But story was okay. The characters were great. Michael was good. They didn't feed into anything because one of the things they tried to get was Michael to speak and say something. And, it was like a whole thing. And so you're like waiting. Yeah, he'll say something at the end. Nah, fuck it. They kept to the entire character. It was solid. It was a good, solid slasher, serial killer Halloween movie. I enjoyed it. None of it was super scary. There wasn't a lot of gotcha spook scenes in it, which, I hate those type of horror movies because it's not just horror.
You mean jump scares?
Yeah, the jump scares.
I didn't care. I don't care for that. They
Boring.
just get boring. But it built up a good story. It's gory. There's, some pretty blood and guts in there. Some weird stuff that happened. But overall, it was really good. I give it probably like 1 to 1.5 space RPs. Because there were some moments you were like, what? Okay. But for the most part, it was a really good horror slasher movie. I recommend it if you like that type of stuff. A good throwback to the original, too.
Cool. Well, my other 2 both will probably require a little longer talking because I don't want to go in depth, so I might save them for movies and movies. And those would be Varsity Blues and The Quick and the Dead.
Oh, man.
One of which I'd never seen before. The Quick and the Dead. I got a lot to say about that movie. We'll save that, though. But I do want to say that I've seen a lot of reviews for X-Men Dark Phoenix. Originally, I was going to skip it, but the reviews are so bad. I got to see that shit in the cheap theater. I got to see how bad that is, because it has been called worse than X-Men Origins Wolverines, and that, my friends, is a powerful statement. Because X-Men Wolverine, once you get to Vietnam, at that point on, that movie's a fucking train wreck of poop.
Is it bordering on Atlantic Rim?
Yes, it is terrible. If you count how they didn't even get like characters they had the rights to correct, it was fuck awful.
Yeah, I heard it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
especially the last of the X-Men movies until I guess they do a reboot with Disney.
Well, yeah, until Disney takes over.
Yeah.
And in fact, the New Mutants movie that they have made probably is not even going to get released, which is probably for the best because they made it a horror.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the right genre for that. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, New Mutants horror was stupid.
Wait, so YA movies are big, and you've got the X-Men YA property, and you don't make it YA? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. I saw the trailer for New Mutants, and I was like, the hell is this crap?
Like, if you called it anything else, I might give it a shot, but as soon as you're going to something I know about, no. How about no? But anyways, yes. So expect both, coming up in the future, you'll get both Detective Pikachu and you'll get X-Men Dark Phoenix, because Not Brushhead Dave will see Detective Pikachu in the Cheap There With Me, but I'll have to see Dark Phoenix by myself. He refuses. He has standards. But yeah, there you go. Kathy, if you want to see if you can get your third one in?
So this weekend was my friend's marathon of
Archer.
the previous season of Archer, which was Archer Danger Island, and then the first episode of the new season, the Archer 1999, which is kind of the sci-fi takeoff on Space 1999, which I'm looking forward to that season. Which, since I don't have cable, I will watch next year when my friend does his marathon of season 10.
That actually sounds interesting to me. Archer in 1999. That actually sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Slow Fuse. We're like just wrapping it up here.
Yep.
This is like the last 3 minutes of the podcast, but thanks for joining.
And, what did you think of last season of Archer?
I enjoyed it. So I immediately drew the parallel to Tales of the Gold Monkey because I loved Tales of the Gold Monkey when I was 10.
Hold on.
In like 1980.
Are you telling me there are people who don't love Tales of the Gold Monkey?
I don't even know. There's no reason not to.
It's got Rodney McDowell. You gotta love it.
So, and a young Stephen Collins, but too bad he turned out to be such a jackwagon.
That's true. But it's got Rodney McDowell.
But it was kind of like they were trying to capitalize on the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark sort of a thing. And I loved that this paid homage to that show. Yeah,
that whole between war genre, that's really cool and interesting.
Yeah. So I really liked it, and there were other people who maybe didn't like it so much because they felt that the characters weren't necessarily being the characters they expected. But I absolutely love that Krieger was a parrot. that just cracked me up. And everybody was so surprised that he could talk, and Archer's like, well, he's a parrot.
What?
Oh, Slofi's just got back from Godzilla. So John was just reviewing Godzilla.
You missed it.
Shortly before you got on here, because he just saw that too.
Wow.
And loved it.
John, are you going to run your... We have more to review, guys, but we got to get going pretty soon. The podcast is almost over. Are you going to review yours on menus and movies?
That or next week or whenever. We'll see what comes in. I've got a little backlog for that. We'll see what kind of time I get.
Okay. I have 2 to review, and I will review the new movie on Netflix called I Am Mother, and what just came out, the Deadwood movie. And I will review that next week when we get back. Other than that, Kathy, do you have anything else that you're going to want to review after or next week?
I do not have any plans for my TV/movie viewing.
Okay. All right, guys, we have to get out of here. It is now 8:30, and we gotta say goodbye.
Goodbye?
No, not like that. You know we
I
always
should have also added that I won't be streaming on Tuesday. But I'll be back on Wednesday.
Yes, Kathy will not be on Tuesday. She'll be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yes.
Join her. She'll be painting up some new stuff. She got some new models to go through and get things done. Please visit all of our sponsors. They love us. They love you. Go ahead and say hi to them. If there's any.
I'll be
That's fun.
Facebook streaming Hobby Streak Monday through Thursday. Currently, no plans to skip any of those days.
Yes.
And that's
Always.
in the evenings.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, I work, so I kind of have to do the evenings.
2 evenings. So, from Where the Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Ah! Good night.
Night.
Yeah, that's the fancy music.
I might have to save The Quick and the Dead for the cast, because since,
I might have to re-watch The Quick and the Dead. It's been years since I've seen it.
This is my first time seeing it.
But that was the Sam Raimi, wasn't it?
Yes. Got it for $4 at the local used book and video store.
As far as I can remember, there were parts I liked and parts I didn't like.